Councillor Carroll to speak.
Madam Speaker, I do think a few words have to be said before we vote on the report. Development charge items are really kind of hard to read for the general public, and sometimes we know the review is not imminent and big change isn't imminent. Sometimes even we councillors don't read it, and that's why this is the perfect place for the provincial government to meddle. That's why we see the really heinous change that was affected here by the province to advantage developers. All of us have had the case of the developer who said, "Oh, I had to meet all these conditions and it took me so long to get to construction, and it's not my fault that it's 5 years since the approval, and you got to get me a break on these development charges." And we have always been very firm about this. The development charges were set the way they were set, that they're payable when you're at above grade permit, because we've got to collect the development charges in the most present day values we can, because that's going to be the cost of the infrastructure those development charges are being collected for. So for this provincial government, after the progress that was made by the previous government, when the global financial crisis happened, and our next review was imminent, and they gave us time flexibility from the strict legislative rules around review time. This is the government you sat on, Councillor Cole. They then allowed us to do, because we were well behind the municipalities that surrounded us, they then allowed us to do step increases, so that, you know, we started to do the increases at 6-month and 12-month increments, and so that the charge being collected would try to always keep pace with the cost of the infrastructure. To allow developers, as this provincial government has done, to lock in on the day of approval is quite frankly insane, because what do we do when we can't afford our infrastructure? We go to the provincial government and ask them for help. And so it's best to advantage the developer in this way and let them off the hook for the impact of growth that they're creating and profiting from. So it's great that they've given us this mitigating piece that we're going to be able to charge interest that can collect some of it back. But I don't think we adopt this today without reminding people that we're having to jump through the complicated hoops that you see in this to do just that. In a way, we're going to use the rule to our advantage in the case of affordable housing, et cetera. But that's not what most of the units popping up in this house, in this city, are. There's a lot of profit being made, and this is just allowing them to profit more, and for us to absorb the impact. And so the fact that we might address this through our review, and if we can't get to the full gain that we should be having, present day value on what we need to build infrastructure, if we can't get there in the development charge review that's prescribed for 2022, there'll be, I hope, a lot more people speaking about it, and not just in this chamber, this echo chamber, but in the community. The community will need to know that this is a problem that has been created by the development charge change in whatever bill, I don't know the number, and also the changes in Bill 108, all of which